My name is Sumedha Mohan, and I'm a high school junior from Lagos, Nigeria. Today, I'm here on behalf of the Teen Pop magazine. This interview is a press release for the upcoming Netflix movie Namaste Wahala. Today, the director of Namaste Wahala, Mrs. Hamisha Daryani Ahuja, is going to be joining us for a lovely chat about herself and her movie. Hamisha Daryani Ahuja is an entrepreneur, an author, and a film producer. She grew up in an Indian household in Nigeria. She founded the famous and successful Bistro 7 in Lagos, Nigeria back in 2017 and ran the establishment for 7 years. She later founded Forever 7 Entertainment, which is a film production company for Bollywood and Nollywood. Today, she is the proud director and executive producer of the new rom-com movie Namaste Wahala. So, Hamisha ma'am, how are you doing today?
I'm very good. Thank you. How are you?
I'm absolutely amazing as well. Thank you so much for asking. I really hope that this COVID pandemic has treated you kind.
Not, you know what? Not bad. Not bad. It's been, there's ups and downs, but I'm grateful at the end.
So that's
How about
wonderful
you?
to hear. Yes, it has been very kind to me as well. All right, so let's begin this interview, shall we?
Let's go.
Okay, so to begin with, you are proudly based out of Nigeria. So how has it been being an Indian who has always lived in Nigeria? So it definitely had some influence on your life and your entrepreneurship career. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
So I solidly believe Lagos, Nigeria, as land of opportunity. It's such a wonderful place to live. There's so much potential here, from the talent to just business to whatever you do. And of course, that's totally shaped my life. And I don't think I would be in this position if I wasn't living here. And I have to give all my gratitude to that, to being here in such a vibrant place where the people are so talented, so warm, so loving, so welcoming.
I'm going to second you on that because I've lived in Nigeria myself for 16 years. I'm here at the moment. And I can second you on saying that the native people of Nigeria, they are very warm, they're very kind. And like you said, very talented people. So wonderful. That was very lovely to hear.
Yes, for sure.
All right. So you successfully started off with founding Bistro 7 and ran the establishment for 7 entire years. So what suddenly changed that made you turn towards filmmaking?
So, apart from running the restaurant, I also am a motivational speaker and I do coaching for corporates and for groups of people. And my anchor course is called The Pursuit of Happiness. And in The Pursuit of Happiness, I advocate two very big things. One is dreaming big, always dream big and go after what you want. And the other one's behind me, always be grateful. So balance these two and you'll live the perfect life is what I believe. And while doing these courses on the side, I knew I always had a dream of going into filmmaking and film and the industry in general. And I had done the restaurant for 7 years. It reached a point where I think I was ready to jump. So my restaurant got acquired by Chocolate City Group. And once that happened, it was amazing. So I'm a shareholder on it and I don't run the restaurant anymore. So it left me free to then go after my dreams. So I took my own advice that I tell everybody in my course and I decided to jump. Eyes closed, eyes open, whatever you want to call it. I just jumped and it's been such a magical journey.
The big leap of faith. And I am so sure at this moment that it has taken you to a very wonderful place where you're going to go way more heights than this.
Oh, thank you.
All right. So now is a little fun question. Can you give us a little bit of a teaser on your movie?
A little bit of what it's about.
Yes, absolutely.
So you're going to watch it in 2 days, right?
It's just a teaser. It's not much.
So it's a romantic comedy. What I tried to do was fuse Nollywood, which with all the drama, with the Bollywood 90s style drama. So I don't know if you watched movies like Dil To Pagal Hai or Kuch Kuch Hota Hai. I grew up on those movies. And, I love the mush. I love the cheese. I love all of that, dancing around trees. So there's a lot of that in this movie because, a lot of Nigerians have grown up on a Bollywood diet. They love the Amitabh Bachchan days, the Hema Malini and all of that. So I thought it'd be really nice to bring that back into the Nollywood industry and make it, applicable to both sides. You also know Z cinema is a huge influence in Nigeria. So many shows come here, get dubbed in English, but it's like women in saris being dubbed in another accent. And then you see it at the hairdressers or whatever. So I just thought to do something that's, more applicable to here. So there's pidgin English in it. There's some little bit of Yoruba. There's a little bit of Hindi, very little. I'd say 10% of the movie. Majority is English. but it just, to relate to both parties. Yeah, so it's a fun rom-com comedy, but there's also a little message in there. So there is some deeper sides to the story, not just a chick flick.
So now I think we're more curious to watch the movie. That
Oh,
was
good.
one good teaser.
Thank you.
I'm 100% sure that your Nigerian roots and your life in Nigeria inspired you to come up with this wonderful movie. So, when did you have that moment when you know that this was the plot, that yes, this is what I want to pursue as the movie?
So I always, once I took the decision that I'm doing this, I'm going to make a film. I've always, I love love. I've always been a romantic comedy fan. Again, like I said, Karan Johar is my idol. I love the stuff he makes. All the, people will now say those are the movies from back in the day, but I still love them. I still watch Yaade, Mohabbat De, all those kind of movies. So that's like a passion. So I always knew that it would be a romantic movie. And then, little things like the influence of what I think would do well here, like the mother-in-law with from Z shows. There's a lot of mother-in-law, daughter-in-law issues. I had to throw that in. A lot of Afro beats, a lot of pidgin, a lot of comic there. So that's where I thought a love story would be a perfect position to show all of this, as well as show all the family clashes.
I think it's
Um,
beautiful, that fusing two cultures in a way of a rom-com movie, that's just, the perfect combination. And it's amazing. It's just brilliant.
and I'm so excited. Netflix chose to put it on Valentine's Day. What better day to put a rom-com, right?
Of course, right. Okay, so we all know that when we shoot a movie, there's always a good and a little bit of a, shady side to it. So,
Hmm.
could you tell us a little bit about some of the best parts of shooting this movie?
Some of the best parts. So best parts was literally seeing that big dream unfold, from start to finish. I spent a lot of time in pre-production, with the script, and we did a lot of writers workshops with the screenplay writers, ideas, this phone calls. I mean, it took a couple of months, then the audition
Yes.
phase. So there was just so much involved. And it's a whole business. And that's a lot of times people think filmmaking is just a glam, fun thing to do, but it's a business too. So there's budgets and there's HR and there's contract and there's so much. So after getting through all that and then getting on set, just seeing these characters come to life was just, again, it's my first time director and producer. So to be able to see that come to life and to see this character Didi, who's the main character, just come alive was just beautiful, so I would say those were some of the best moments, and just how much I learned. Like really, this was a learning curve for me, and I learned so much. I feel like what I've done on this movie is equivalent to 4 years of film school.
Wonderful. And I think what you just said, I think that's so true, because watching your dream unfold in front of you, isn't that what all of us wish to see in the future of our lives? So that was
Yeah.
beautiful. That was just amazing the way you explained it. And that made me happy.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad.
All right. So why don't you tell us a little bit about the troubles that you faced while filming this movie? Some of the significant challenges.
Yeah, so what also ended up being a wonderment and excitement and a dream come true, also being a first timer had its negatives, so the fact my lack of experience, sometimes my learning curves would cost, like if I made a mistake, then I would have to redo it, and redo it would take time. So that is where I feel there were hiccups. In addition, being both producer and director, from the producer angle, it's a lot more to do with budgets, a lot more to do with schedules, a lot more to make sure everything is on time. And from a director, it's more creative. So that clash happened a lot, because I'd be on set and be like, oh, I would love to do 2 more takes because I think we can get it, better. But then the producer hat would be like, but we need to get out, we need to leave this location, otherwise they'll have an issue. Or another time, there's a restaurant scene where I would have ideally loved 100 extras, but from a budget perspective that didn't make sense. So that is where I had a lot of clashes, and I always had to pick a side. And that was a real learning curve for me.
Yes, absolutely. Well, since this movie is coming out during the pandemic, the COVID pandemic, how do you think this is going to affect the release, and how did it affect your shooting process?
So I shot the movie right before the pandemic. None of us knew what was coming. So this was meant to release in cinema in April, and we were going to speed into post production. We shot in Jan, finished in Feb, and we were going to speed it. Usually post production should be 3 months plus. We were going to do it in like a month.
Yeah.
Thank God things changed in the way that I needed that time. I didn't, again, I was, honeymoon period, excited. I can do this, I'll work long hours, I'll get it done. But, because the pandemic happened, we had to delay. And with that delay, I had a lot more time. I did it virtually because I wasn't able to fly back to India. So we did the whole post-production process online, which was brilliant, but I had 6 months for it. So that 6 months, we could delve into every detail, every song beat, every color grading, there was a lot more time. So yes, it affected it. I was impatient, let's say, but in the big picture, what happened, the beauty behind it is now it's a global release on Netflix, the biggest entertainment platform in the world. Could I ask for more, really?
I can see the excitement in your face, and I think all the hard work and dedication that you had probably put in, and you've definitely put in over the course of almost a year, it's 100% paid off.
Yes, I hope so.
Yes, you need not hope. I can give you that guarantee.
Thank you.
All right, so moving on to our next question: how is it like filming with such an amazing cast and crew?
So, like I said, the cast and crew were absolutely brilliant. So much talent. Actors were all professional. They all knew what they were doing, all had their lines memorized, all were able to do different tones and different takes. And, I was super, super impressed with that. The crew also was fantastic. So the crew is what makes the cast, what makes the cast look beautiful. The setup of the cameras, the lighting, it was just mind-boggling to see all that talent come out and how efficient everybody was. Even with my post-production. So I did the full production here in Nigeria, and I had 100% Nigerian production team. I had one Indian come in as an assistant director, but my full post-production was done in India. So really, really, I tried as much as I could to do 50-50, where it was half Indian, half Nigerian. And I was just blown away by everybody's talent and everybody's excitement to do well.
That is so amazing. You would have made memories on set, right? Obviously. So, what was the most memorable moment that you think was like the highlight of
Mm.
shooting?
So one of my memorable moments was at Shiro, Lagos. We shot the song number there, and this was like my thing, my zid, whatever. I needed to have this dancing. I mean, I keep saying dancing around trees, but I mean it as an analogy. They didn't really have trees at Shiro. It was a beach. So, but just the coming alive of that, of having Dima, the actress, the Nigerian actress, who's never done this before. She's watched Bollywood, but she's never been in a musical, as we call it in over here. And Ruslan knew, and Ruslan is the actor. He's done it so many times. So for him, literally just snap his fingers, he started singing and dancing. So just seeing it happen, seeing the waves in the back, the music playing while they were doing their rehearsals, that was very, very amazing, and I'll always remember that.
Absolutely. Watching two different cultures and two different origins come together, it's such a
Yeah.
pleasing. Even to think about it is just so pleasing in the mind.
Yeah.
Um, okay, next question. What is an Easter egg in the movie? With a small Hamisha Daryani Ahuja touch to it that you would, can you let us on with what that is?
So a touch. I infiltrated the movie a little bit with my workshop. You have to really look out for it, though. Like I said, a lot of what I coach in my workshop is gratitude and the pursuit of happiness. You may see placements there. I believe in the law of attraction as well. So if you look around the movie and see these little nuggets, there's also a bigger message. As much as I said, there's a lot of fun and a lot of comedy. If you want to put your analyzing hat on, there's deep messages with a lot of the scenes, and I just hope people take that when they watch it.
Absolutely, of course. Now, let's move on to my favorite round. It's the rapid fire round. So, I'm going to be asking you 5 questions and you have to answer them very fast.
Okay.
All right. So, shall we begin?
Mhm.
All right. First question. In one word, how would you describe the chemistry between Didi and Raj?
Fire.
Wonderful. Your Nigerian role model.
My Nigerian role model. I mean, this one's a tough one. There's so many. I love how Chimamanda works. She's an amazing author. I love what she stands for. I love how she's so into female empowerment. So I would say her.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Now, next question. If you could sing one Bollywood song to describe your movie, what would that be?
Definitely Kabhi Kushi Kabhi Gum.
Hare, Karan Johar again. I can see your love for him.
Anything Karan Johar.
All
In
right.
fact, I put that song in my Insta stories today, so,
All right. So next question. If you would walk into a room of Ruslan and Ini, what would be the first thing that you would find?
if we can walk into their kitchen first, let's walk to the kitchen. In the kitchen, you'll see Indomie for sure. And in their bedroom, lots of books. They're both intelligent. They love, studying and reading and all. So you'll definitely see a lot of books in there.
Wonderful. Last question. If you were to spread a rumor about Namaste Wahala or yourself, what would that be?
Oh, so Namaste Wahala is nominated for the Oscars, for the Globes, and we broke the internet. Netflix shut down because so many people were watching it. It is the number one. So yes, that would be a beautiful rumor to spread.
I don't think you'd be disappointed if that happened, even if Netflix shut down because of extreme use of power. I think that'd be like a happy moment for you.
So that's what I'm telling everybody. Please, we're going to break the internet. We want to break Netflix on Valentine's Day. So get everybody to watch it that you know.
Yes, definitely everybody's going to watch it. All right. So that concludes our rapid fire round. Let's move on to our next question. What would be your one word of motivation to our generation, to this current generation?
I would say, again, I know I've said it a lot of times, that there's no, and I've learned that now. I've always been someone who goes after what I want. But I was told as a kid, this industry is not the right industry. Don't do it. It's not good for you. Do something else. And so maybe it took me longer to get here. Like I didn't go to film school at 18 and, things like that. But it came for me at the right time. So I don't think that if there's anything you want to do, anything that's the back of your head, but you're like, and I had a lot of fears when I was younger. As in how you go through life, you realize those fears are actually just you stopping yourself. It's taken me a while to get here, but it was the fear that stopped me from it. And today I'm so thankful because I believe in YOLO. You only live once. And if that's the case, especially with whatever happened with the pandemic, why not do what you want? Who cares what people think? Just do it, as long as you're doing good in the world and you're being a good person, do what you want.
Obviously, of course. And I've heard this saying somewhere. I'm going to say it in Hindi. I heard it. It says that 7 जन्मों में अगर एक जन्म हमें इंसान का मिलता है तो उसे नॉर्मल लाइफ में जीने से क्या फायदा? And in
Mm.
English, that basically means that you get the life of a human after such a long period on this planet. What's the point of living it, as a normal life? Why don't you just take that faith, that leap of faith? Just close your eyes and just work towards what you want to do, and one day you're definitely going to reach there, right? So I think
Yeah.
that is something that everybody this generation has to understand. And that was
Yes.
wonderfully put by you. I could not have said it any better.
But I loved what you just said as well. That was beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. Last question of this interview. Would you like to say anything at all to the audience that is watching this interview?
I mean, of course, first of all, I just said it. Please break Netflix on Valentine's Day. Everybody, please go out there, watch it, have fun. And apart from what I said about dreaming big, always be grateful because that what grounds you in the present. Let's not forget what we have right here, right now. As much as we're aiming for our big futures and our dreams, let's also appreciate what we have. Because I always say what we appreciate appreciates.
Absolutely.
So,
What a wonderful message at the end. Brilliant way to conclude an interview. Hats off to you.
thank you. Thank you so much. This was
All right.
wonderful.
No problem. It was my pleasure being able to speak to you today. So that concludes our interview for the day. Thank you so much for joining us, Hamisha ma'am. It was lovely having you here with us today and wishing you the very best for your movie and all the luck for your upcoming endeavors in life.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. So, guys, if you would like to know more about Hamisha Daryani Ahuja or Namaste Wahala, please stay tuned with the Teen Pop magazine.